For the last segment of this lesson, the last two segments here, I'm going to play E minor, C, and D. Very common progression. This would be a 6-4-5 progression in the key of G. I'll spend a little bit of time showing you how it could lay out in different parts of the neck, but I'm leaving a lot of this up to you. At this point, if you've gone through this lesson and listened to it a few times, you're going to understand that this is big, and it's going to take some time for you just to dig in. Let's listen to the track. Two bars of E minor, one measure of C, one measure of D. Got a little bit of a disco feel, a little bit of 16th stuff going on. So where do you want to play it? Let's review. You have 5 different areas that you could play both major voicings in and minor voicings. We've gone through that. The CAGED system would be your 5 voicings. The EDCAG would be your minor positions. You're probably going to start off with E minor, 5th string root, based off the A minor chord. You want to see the C and the D chords in that position. Here is C on the 6th string, here is D on the 6th string. Those are your roots. It's wise to look for the bass line first because that's going to reveal to you whether it's a 5th, 6th, 4th string root, whatever the case may be. That means we have the E minor with the A minor form. Then you have the C with the E form and the D with the G form. Let's break it down and get small little voicings out of those chords. This is a great way to get some nice ideas. You see, all I did is I just played the top 2 strings of those big block chord voicings. I'll do the same thing with the 2nd and 3rd strings. Now that's exactly where a good rhythm guitar part could come from. We need to raise the bar a little bit. Now what if I want to add notes to that? Remember, there are 3 levels that we deal with. The triads, which would be the arpeggios, the notes that make up the chords. Then your pentatonic scales, you add 2 notes to your triad arpeggios, you have the pentatonic scales. Add 2 more notes to those pentatonic scales, you get your modes. We are in the key of G. This is the 6th chord. The C is the 4 chord, the D is the 5 chord. You need to see a G scale in that position. Now if you don't know all your major scales, I'm going to give you a plug. Call TrueFire and order the 2.2 lesson video. I go through all 5 pentatonic scale forms, all 7 major scale forms. You know, if you're going to bother listening to me, we might as well be on the same page, and I highly recommend that. This would be scale form 3 of that series. It would always be oriented around this chord form, so that's an important link for you to make. That way you don't have to go through 2 steps, you can get to your destination just with 1. Then I know that if I want to add notes to these little parts that I had, I simply look at each string. Let's say I want to restrict myself to the 2nd and 3rd strings. All I'm looking at are the notes that exist on those. F sharp G A on the 2nd string, D E F sharp on the 3rd string. And I can mix and match as long as I do what? Keep coming back to the important tones in the triad. The same thing could hold true for simply thinking in terms of pentatonics. I'm going to blaze through this. You should already know this. If you don't, study it. Anytime you're on this 5th string root, A minor form minor chord, you have the 5th string root pentatonic scale. If you're on the 6th string root major chord, based off the E form, you have the 4th string root scale, and if you're on the G form, you have the 6th string root scale. I'm going to play fills just thinking in terms of the pentatonic scale. That's what I'm visualizing. Great way to approach rhythm guitar. You get these nice little double stops. And then if you implement all these different approaches, the arpeggios, blending with the scales, be it the pentatonics or the modes, the entire major scale, do you see how you can just keep playing rhythm guitar, lead guitar, they're really blending one into another. In the final segment of this lesson, I'm going to show you some other areas and we'll just go through this progression, have some fun with it.